Sharkast. 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 Welcome to the IAA Sharkast.
Well, welcome everybody to Sharkast episode 49. That's right, we're one episode away from the big 5-0, and today we have with us some students from Inter-American Academy, secondary students, who will be talking to us today about their Week Without Walls experiences.
Hello, my name is Carlos Garcia. I am in ninth grade, and I go to the Galapagos.
My name is Eitan, and I went to the middle school trip.
My name is Grace, 8th grade, and I went to middle school trip.
And we also have our Week Without Walls coordinator with us today, Mr. Chris Holmquist. How are you, Chris?
Hello. I'm good. I went to the Galapagos.
So first of all, let's focus on our middle schoolers, Eitan and Grace.
So for the Week Without Walls, the first day we went to Cerro Blanco. It's like kind of like a forest over there. Very cool. And the second day we went to Laguna Park. The third day we stayed at school. We planted some trees. We hung with our friends. The fourth day we went to Playas and stayed overnight over there. And on Friday morning we went to pick up the trash in the beach.
How much trash did you pick up on the beach?
We don't have an official amount, but it was a lot.
It was like
How many bags? If you were to estimate how many bags of trash you picked up, how many were there?
10
10
bags.
10.
More than 10. I was there. I saw there was at least 20. What was the funnest part of your Week Without Walls?
Planting the garden.
Really?
Okay.
So the hard labor, getting blisters on your hands, getting the shovel out, digging a trench, that was your favorite thing?
I didn't get blisters, and I liked a lot planting the garden, mainly because I feel what some people do every day.
So you developed something called empathy.
Yes.
Okay.
What I like, personally, I like more Pororoca then, because it's my first time staying asleep with some of my peers, and I normally don't stay to sleep at any house or hotel.
So hanging out with your friends, doing an overnight trip was a big deal. Was that your first overnight trip without your family?
Yes, I had a lot of fun playing pool table with Dr. Don. Maybe he's in this call.
Yeah, we played this game called Rotation, right?
Rotation was very fun.
Yeah, you remember that, Grace? There were like, what, 12 or 15 of us playing the game, something like that?
Some of us abandoned the match midway like Grace, but it's okay. We had a lot of fun.
I'm trying to remember who won, like, both games. Who was that won both games?
Who won?
Yeah, I think Dr. Don won.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was me. I did win. That was fun. So you had to bond with your classmates and play some billiards, some pool. And there was a swimming pool there too.
Yes, the swimming pool, it was almost like a beach because there were so many people jumping, playing. It was almost like we made artificial waves.
Yeah, just to give the parents a visual of the swimming pool, it was a very small pool. And we had like 30 students in the pool. And so, I don't know that there was a lot of water left in the pool when you guys got done.
I think the water all just came out. Everyone was just going to the pool.
I think so. I think a lot of the water left the pool, but that's okay. You guys had fun with that. What other part of the trip did you really enjoy, or did you learn a lot during?
For me, personally, I really like the Laguna Park because we could just like go on those kayaks and go to the beach side, or we just chill there. And it was like safe after. We didn't have anything.
Did you learn something about yourself at Laguna Park, Grace?
I learned something about me.
Okay, what'd you learn?
If I swim for more than 5 minutes, I can possibly drown.
I learned that I didn't drown with my swimming.
There was a zip line that went down into the water, right?
Yes, I also learned another thing about that.
What about the Cerro Blanco? Tell us about what you learned in Cerro Blanco.
Nature can provide everything. Nature can make you die, and nature is beautiful.
All of those things at the same time.
Yes.
We saw tarantulas, like the big spider.
Ah, the tarantulas, yeah. And how big? Show the audience how big the tarantula was with your hands.
It was like almost like this.
It was as big as your hand, okay.
Yeah. And the
Did
was
you
getting
did you pick it up?
No, I did not pick it up. The
She
tarantula
was screaming.
Yeah, I was screaming.
Can tarantulas bite you?
No.
No, they say they're not harmful because the guy that was with us, he got it.
Uh-huh.
Ah, he held the tarantula. Okay.
Yeah.
What else
Learn
did
nothing.
what else did you see on your Cerro Blanco trip?
EMPS. Those
Yeah.
little things. And they were little underneath, like those little holes you would never imagine.
Guides had you do some activities as teams, some trust circles and some other types of things.
Oh yeah,
We were
that was to
divided
divide us in
into
groups.
teams. Uh-huh.
Now you remember. Yeah. You just remember the teeter-totter. You don't remember the team building part.
Another thing I enjoyed a lot was Laguna Park. I liked swimming, and there was this type of mud that I was bothering everyone at throwing at them. And after that, I think Pororoca, the food.
I really liked the food. The breakfast and the dinner was super good. The juice was very good.
The juice, okay.
Makes
So
me feel it.
that's important. Food is important. And you like the food. That's good. You like the juice. So
The most Ecuadorian food of dinner in the hotel. It was pollo, but like this big. It was flat. Then we had that type of ensalada that you would put normally into a ceviche.
Yeah.
And we had menestra en arroz. Ecuadorian 100%.
nice. We're going to shift over to another trip. Our middle schoolers had a great trip, and it's a progression. So Week Without Walls for middle schoolers, they were doing day trips most of the week and then one overnight trip because it's the first time. And we're hoping in the future that we could get something going with our 4th through 6th graders where we do maybe a camp out on campus or some sort of activity that's a little bit more extended. Is that correct, Mr. Holmquist?
Yeah, we're looking at getting a couple of events for the younger kids that are overnight but on campus, similar to how the high schoolers have their lock-ins on campus, but this one would be a little bit more outdoors. So setting up some tents in the field, putting together a fire pit, roasting some marshmallows, just being kids.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Excellent. Right now, we're going to hear from a couple of students who went on the Galapagos trip.
The first day at Galapagos was going to Los Gemelos. It was cool. Was a lot of nature, and I like it so much. That's the first day, and we have learned about a lot of I don't remember the name. A lot of trees, different trees, and birds that I like it too much. Other days, we go to do kayak at El Garrapatero. It was nice, and then we sleep there. I like it. The food was excellent. I love the experience too.
What Charlie's forgetting to tell you is that the second day we were there, we went to a place called Tortuga Bay. And Charlie, correct me if I'm wrong, but you went surfing.
Yeah.
And you were able to stand up.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
Was that your first time surfing?
No, it was my fourth time.
I would be really impressed, Charlie. Were you surfing on the back of a turtle?
No.
Oh, it was on a surfboard.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Magli? You went to Galapagos also. You were there with Charlie, and how many students were in Galapagos?
We were like 15, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. The experience was like really good because you can like connect with nature and you can have like a special moment with yourself because you don't get to use your phone because they take it away at the beginning. So you can, at the long of the trip, you can like focus on yourself, and learn something new about others. And yeah, and the trip was like really good. At the beginning, I didn't like it because, how I said, You couldn't use your phone, and I'm addicted to my phone. I used to be addicted. Since the trip began, I stopped like using it that much as I used to. So yeah, the experience is like it's really good.
So you survived without your phone.
Yeah, I survived. Surprisingly, I survived.
And now,
Dr. Don,
you
when I gave her phone back, she didn't want it back.
Really?
I
I didn't
attempted
want
to give it
that.
back, and she
Yeah.
said no.
Does Mr. Holmquist still have your phone?
No,
I forced it back into her hands. I didn't want to keep that responsibility.
I didn't want to get my phone back.
But
Dr. Don.
you use it less than you used it before?
No, now I use it like when I have to like call my mom or something like that or text someone. But I don't use it as much as I used to. Like I don't watch TikTok that much. I don't scroll on Instagram doing anything. Now I have like things to do. And yeah, that's what I like.
Wow, Week Without Walls changed your life.
Yeah, it did. It actually did. Because so I have this funny story because I don't get along with chickens. Like I have never get along with chickens. Like never. And on the trip, there's like this farm that they had, like a little farm, and there are like chickens and all those type of things. So they divide you in groups, and I used to be group 1. So the first day I have to go to the chicken thingy and I have to take care of them, feed them and all the stuff. So I was really scared because, as I said, I don't get along with them. Like I don't like them. But surprisingly, there was one chicken that I get along with so well. Like actually, I can feel like the connection with the chicken. So I named it Mariana, and there was Fabia. There were 2 chickens that I liked, and I named it like that. So I used to go every day, to the chicken thingy or the chicken house, and spend my time there. Just like on the morning, because the rest of the day we have things to do, like go to the beach, do snorkeling, kayak, and so much other activities. They were super fun.
Now, did you sneak the chickens into your suitcase for the
They
airport?
didn't let me.
Okay, that's unfortunate. Well, I'm sure that your mom would love to get you a couple of chickens, right? I'm sure
No,
she's
she said
watching
no.
this podcast. No, she said no.
She
Oh.
said no.
Well, that's cool.
I
So
couldn't get my chicken.
you learned something that you didn't know about yourself, that you are the chicken whisperer.
Yeah.
Excellent story. Well, that's good. Well, that's an interesting thing that you bring up, Magali, because I think a lot of us, it's not just students, but it's your parents and us too. We're all addicted to our phones, right? You know, we have this thing, and this is like our life. We get notifications and we have to look at them, and we have to figure out, okay, what's the newest post on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and it becomes an addiction, right? Where we have to look at it all the time. So when you go without it for 5 days, which you did, you start to appreciate life for what life is without a phone. It can actually be more fulfilling to take that distraction away and to just live your life in a way where you can even make friends with chickens, right?
Yeah.
All right, good. What else did you guys do in Galapagos? Tell us about it. This is an exciting trip.
Yeah. What else we did? We camped on a beach that is called Garrapatero. So we camped over there. That day, I have to be honest, that wasn't my day. I cried at the night because everything like on the arena, I don't know how to say arena, on the
Sand.
sand, there was like a lot of bichos or things over there. So I stepped one on like a piece of wood, and then it got stuck on my feet, and it was like a estaca. I don't know how to say
You
it.
had a thorn? that you got stuck
A little
in?
splinter.
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 Yeah.
Splinter. Well, I had that, and it was horrible because it hurts a lot. And then I start crying because I had like a mini mental breakdown because okay, mosquitoes were biting me all over, and I was eating them when I was crying. So I was with my mouth open, and mosquito was getting in my mouth. So it was horrible. And then my feet it started hurting so much, and it was night, and the sun was getting all over my body, and it was horrible. But then Mr. Holmquist told me something that I will never forget, never, 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 because it was something that, you know, like it's true that he told me that you can have what do you I don't know how to say it in English, but me dijo que cada cosa buena que pasaba tenía que tener como un momento malo para que sea aún mejor después de eso. ¿Sí me explico?
Yeah.
And
So for those English speakers, and in order to really feel the good moments, you have to have a bad moment to compare it with, right? If everything is good, it's not good. So you have to have something bad. And what in the end of the day made it better?
well, my feet stopped hurting because I have to walk on the sea, just like to get, you know, my feet clean, and that helped a lot because it stopped hurting. But yeah, and also I hang out with my friends, and yeah, that was fun. Except for the part of my feet.
So that's a great story, Magli, that you just told us, because that's one of the purposes of Week Without Walls, is that we want our students, when they leave IAA, when they graduate, we want them to be resilient and to persevere and to get through hard times and know how to problem solve and how to get. Sometimes we would cry, right? Sometimes we feel like everything's overwhelming or it's really hard or life is tough. But it's important that we get back up and then we appreciate the blessings that we have in life after we go through the ordeal or the hard splinter in the foot and sand. And a lot of people, this is interesting that you mentioned that, Magli, because a lot of people think, oh, sand is so soft, it's easy to sleep on. It's like not like rocks, it's so soft, but actually sand is very hard, right? And it's lumpy. And it makes your muscles hurt, and it's not easy to sleep on, right? It's hard.
It's really hard.
And so I'll bet when you got home, you really appreciated your bed.
Yeah, I really
When we
appreciate that.
when we got back to our camp, our original camp, they all appreciated their bed. And when they first got to that camp, they were going,
I mean, we were sleeping on the floor, but it was that or sleeping on the sand. So I prefer sleeping on the floor.
Excellent.
What else we would do? We did snorkeling. We saw a lot of turtles on the sea. That was fun. That was fun because I have never seen like a marine turtle in my life. So that was fun. Also, we saw sharks. And yeah, go sharks.
Go Sharks.
I saw sharks. I was afraid of them at the beginning. Well, I'm still afraid of them, but they didn't tell me that there was a shark when I was about to like jump in the water. So yeah, they told me when I was in the water and the snorkeling already finished. So
How many different fish species do you think that you saw when you were snorkeling?
A lot. In total, a lot.
How many fish did you see? How many
there
different
was like 1 billion.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of fish.
All the colors.
I guess that's why people go to the Galapagos, because there's 1 billion fish.
That was my first time going to Galapagos, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, mine second.
Awesome. I did not get invited to chaperone the Galapagos trip, and I've never been. And my daughter went, and I still didn't get invited. So I'm a little bit bitter about that. Maybe next year they'll invite me, but I'm just not.
Maybe next year.
I'm not one of the cool kids, I guess. So. Now
Someone has to hold down the fort at school.
That's true. I gotta hang out with the middle schoolers, which that was a lot of fun, especially beating them in billiards. That was good. But I did have a question. I heard this. I heard a rumor that the students at Galapagos met someone that's going to be a student at IA next year. Is that true?
Oh, yes, yes. We met Marisol. She's the new kid. She's in school, so. She lives in, well, she used to live in Galapagos, so she knows a lot of things about Galapagos. And it was funny because every time that they were teaching us something, she already knew. And she was like, I already know this.
All right, we have Christian that came. Christian, what trip were you on?
I went to Galapagos.
Oh my goodness, we've been talking about Galapagos. Tell us a story, right? Because we want to hear a good story. You got a good story for us?
Do you want something funny or an adventure?
Do you have a story that's funny and an adventure?
Well, the thing is that while we were walking, I remember that we were going to la playa de los Perros, and like the teachers were walking so fast, and I remember that I was walking with Maggie, and Manoff, and I don't know who else. And the thing is that we were talking so much, and the teachers just went away really fast. And I also remember that we were with Mr. Domingo, and there was a part in which we had to choose if we had to go left or right. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go to the right. And everyone was like, okay, if we go to the wrong place, it's gonna be all your fault. I was like, it doesn't. I was like, come on, I know what I'm doing. And yeah, so we went that way, and I was right. We had to go to the right, because if we went to the left, we were going to the wrong place. So it was so good, and we laughed when we finally found each other. I remember that Mr. Holmquist was talking a lot about that he liked to see students solving problems by themselves and like being more independent in some things. And I also feel very happy about that, because I feel like sometimes students like to rely on teachers for some stuff that we could do by ourselves. But this trip, it helped us like to prove to ourselves that we're more independent than we actually think.
Very good. And go ahead, you can tell us your adventure story too, Christian.
Yeah, so it was funny because we went to Las Grietas, and to be honest, I didn't have confidence on myself for just going to the water with no equipment. I thought that I was gonna drown, and everyone was like, okay, just jump, nothing's gonna happen to you. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So I just jumped and went straight to the water. At first, I thought that I was gonna drown, but later on, I found a way for swimming around by myself without any danger. And yeah, it was too funny because I remember that Matias was saying, "See, you're afraid because of no reason. You can do it by yourself." And yeah, so we had a very good time there. Las Grietas was one of my favorite places, and my favorite activity was snorkeling, because like the views, seeing a lot of turtles, fishes, and like basically seeing things underwater in general. Mm-hmm. I like that so much. It was all clear, and yeah, the Canal de Itabaca, I really recommend it to anyone who's planning to go to Galapagos to go snorkeling on a Canal de Itabaca. It's a very good option.
Should we as a school continue to provide opportunities like Week Without Walls for our students? Why?
Yes.
Okay, I hear a lot of yeses. Why?
Because it is like, okay, so first of all, it's an experience that you will never forget. Second, you can get along with people that you don't talk used to. Like when I went to Galapagos, that wasn't like my idea to go because there was a lot of people that I don't talk with, and I was really scared because I was like, oh, now they're gonna like do a group, they will leave me alone or something like that. Okay, there's Alvaro, who also was in the trip.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Alvaro.
And yeah, so I was really scared about that. And then when I went to Galapagos, I felt like, I don't know, I feel like I wasn't gonna get along with anyone, so I was really scared about that. But then I made new friends that I didn't talk to in school, and now I get along with them. Like Alvaro, I don't even talk to Alvaro when the trip was like made. So now I talk to him, and now we're friends. So yeah, that was like a really good trip connection. They're looking at me and they're putting me nervous. Stop, go away. And I don't know, yeah, that.
So you made some friendships that you didn't have before the
Yeah,
trip, sounds like.
connections. That was
Good.
perfect.
Anybody else? Why should we have these types of trips?
Because for me, because you can connect with nature, and yeah, you can get off all the technology. You can forget your problems, and you can continue and be better. Yep.
Very good.
What I personally like, something I have to tell you because it's honest. I like kind of missing 1 week of school. I get to know better the people. I get to know better what they like, what they don't like, their talents, not their talents. And it's also this type of friendship, it will be through all our lives.
So you like the break from having to go to class and being able to be doing some different types of learning activities with your friends and hang out with them and build those connections. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. That's an honest, it's a good answer.
I want to jump in on that a little bit. I think obviously that we should continue to do this, and the reason for is that the kids I don't think they realize how much they are learning. They think they're having fun, and they're having a lot of fun, but you guys are learning more about yourselves and about how to persevere and be uncomfortable than you ever will in a classroom. And I think that part of it for me is the main reason to do it.
So we've been talking about the possibility of doing a mini week without walls at the beginning of the school year so that you have a chance to kind of build some of those connections early in the school year, and also with your teachers. Tell us about that. Do you guys think that maybe you like your teachers better now after the trip, or
actually
worse? I don't know.
Well, I didn't used to talk that much to Mr. Holmquist before the trip to Galapagos, but now, like, once we see each other, we say hi and talk a little more than we used to before, and it's good. Go Sharks!
Go Sharks!
Go Sharks!